Hey scrapbookers, I'm sitting this one out. I'm not sitting it out, but I'm gonna sit down and just show you an album. I've had such a heck of a time with the uploading videos. It's insane. It just shouldn't be this hard, and I really, I will think it's so awesome on the day when there's no more computer passwords. So I'm just gonna do a show and tell of this album, which is a family history album. So I start with a title page. Then, let's see if I can get this up just a little. And then this is just a family tree, one of the circular versions from the crepe paper close knit line. This is a grid photo or a grid layout. It's just kind of an intro page. And then each part of this album is like I bought a whole bunch of these sheets, and so I've divided it up into like my 4 grandparents. So there's sections, and each section opener looks like this. But this, in the middle of this circle starts with me, and then we just go through some of those old layouts that I showed you that I don't know who the people are. Like, who was she? Note to self, write down names of people, and then just another sort of generic-ish page about our family history. And there should be one of those, oops. Yeah, this page should come after, hold on. I actually took this album up with me to the Genealogy library in Pinellas County, where I live. Has a genealogy society and a library, and so I actually went up there last Saturday, or maybe it was 2 Saturdays ago, and I took notes about the Revolutionary War, and I mostly did Revolutionary War research. So I wrote my notes directly onto 6x6 scrapbook pages. And these papers are mostly like ledger type papers, but they're all pretty, and now they all have my handwriting with all the information about my Revolutionary War folks. So this section, I just tuck these in because when I make the pages, the journaling's already done. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting. That's a good thing. Okay, so then this is the family tree for my paternal grandfather, and then I go into, whoops, you're not supposed to see that, that's coming out in a Get It Scrapped blog post in November. So I guess you could, if you were very clever, you could pause it and take a look at it, but I don't think the quality of the video is that great, and so I don't think you'll get a crystal clear image, but you'll see that next month. That one is coming out next month at Get It Scrapped. Then this page is emails from my dad. My dad passed away 10 years ago, and so I scrapbook about him a lot, actually. It just helps me process. That's about him. And then I actually have the newsletter from the Genealogy Society. So I just have like an empty page in here where I just put some genealogy notes. And then I have the next family tree. This one is my paternal grandmother. And then I have pages about that side of the family. And even though I have a whole lot of research on her, I don't have a lot of pages about her in this album. That's okay. It's in another place. Then I've got my maternal great-grandmother, because I have a boatload of information about her. Maud this is Maud. This page was also on a Get It Scrapped blog post. I don't remember what the topic was, but yeah, I totally don't remember. But Debbie Koch comes up with the most creative and thought-provoking subjects for I'm on her creative team, and it's always fun to make all these different pages according to her list of things she wants to blog about, and I just come up with some fun and different pages. anyways, this is Maud. Her family came over on the Mayflower. Were in the Revolutionary War, did all sorts of exciting things. So she's very well, like her side of the family is very well documented. She married a guy who, not so documented. We basically can go back just a couple generations with him. So then we actually were, I now have like probably 10 people who were on the Mayflower that are in our family. But when I made this page, I just knew that one of us had signed the Mayflower Compact, and so that's the common good. And I think this was a Get It Scrap post, and I think it was using feathers, and this is an actual real life feather from the backyard, because we live in Florida and we have giant birds. So there's a picture of me, and then I downloaded some pictures of the Mayflower Compact, which is when the Mayflower landed. Before they were like, oh my gosh, we're in the wrong place. So do we need to follow the rules of where we were supposed to go, or can we make up our own rules? And there was all sorts of discussion about that. So before they got off the boat, they sat down and wrote the Mayflower Compact to, say this is in ye name of God, amen, ye whose names are written underneath, blah, 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 blah. And then this is what we're going to do once we get off the boat. And, oh, I can't read the people. But, anyways, we have pilgrim ancestors. And so this just goes through, this goes back, this is like the family tree back to one particular line. And then we're actually, this is so exciting, we're related to the Roosevelts. Seriously, like Theodore Roosevelt, Eleanor Roosevelt, and the other one. The guy who said we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Oh, what's his name? He was Eleanor's husband, but she was actually Roosevelt, and she married her cousin. We have a lot of people marrying cousins in our family. I think that probably happened a lot in colonial days. I don't think there were that many folks around. I mean, they didn't live in colonial days, but what's his name? Oh, it escapes me, but he was president. What's his name? Hold on, I gotta look. It starts with an L, I think. Okay, so the common ancestor is Richard Warren and Francis Cook. They were on the Mayflower. And Eleanor Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, and then on the back of this, I put the actual, like, here's exactly how I was related to Richard Warren and to Francis Cook, who were Mayflower people. And then it's well documented how the presidents are related to the Mayflower folks. Like, you can just Google that and see who was descended from the Mayflower. The famous people are very well documented. An old house of our family, and I think I actually, I got this image on Google. So I found a census, and then I put the census in this pocket, and then I Googled where that house was. This is a house in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Moby Dick and all that sort of thing. We're from there. Anyways, one branch of my family is from there. So I found the census, figured out where they lived, then Googled that house and got a Google image, like I did the print screen. So that's where this picture came from. And then this is a page that I think was also at Get It Scrapped, and I also don't remember the subject of the blog post, but it was like, this was a fun page for me because I embellished a little, meaning I not only embellished, like put a lot of embellishments, but I also kind of like took the family stories about my Uncle Roy, my great Uncle Roy, and I kind of embellished his stories up a little because he had kind of a colorful past. I mean, I didn't really, I didn't write anything that wasn't true, but Uncle Roy worked at the Potter Press in Waltham, Massachusetts, which is where Brandeis University is located. They printed postcards. So I didn't really know much about him, but I found that on the census, and then I asked my mom and my aunt to give me information, and my mom told me this crazy story. She said Uncle Roy had 2 girlfriends. And like we're talking, you know, this is my great uncle. So he was like, I have his registration card here that I got online. Oh, what's the date? Oh, date of birth, 1889. So, you know, we're talking like he was born about 100 years before me. I was a little shocked to learn that Uncle Roy had 2 girlfriends, and they were sisters, and the 3 of them used to go on vacation together. Like, you know, way before the Playboy dude had his 3 girlfriends. My Uncle Roy, my great-great-uncle Roy, had 2 girlfriends, and they were apparently just fine with that. That's the story my mom told me. My aunt told me a different story. So sometimes it's fun to, like, she was like, oh, it wasn't that scandalous. But it's fun to include the scandalous, or even like that got to be a story. Okay, I'm gonna stop here, but then I will try to show you the rest of this book. I am in the process of making 30 scrapbooking videos in 30 days, and really it's not just a video a day, it's more like 3 or 4 a day, because I'm still learning and I don't know how to make a super long one all at once. But anyways, I'm Katie Scott. My blog is Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking, which means keep it super simple and tell your story scrapbooking. And on YouTube and Vimeo and Ustream and Instagram like you wouldn't believe. And that's my current obsession. Pinterest and Facebook and all of the social media you can imagine. 2 peas in a bucket. Okay, and get it scrapped. And so that's all for now. I'm gonna try to get this uploaded, and then I will show you the rest of this book at some point. Okay.